Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, True Wellness Hub. Every 11 seconds, an older adult is treated in the emergency room because of a fall. But what if I told you that in parts of Japan, many adults over 80 still get up and down from the floor every single day without fear? The difference isn't luck. It's not genetics. It's daily movement, simple, gentle, almost invisible habits that protect balance for decades. If you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, this might be the most important video you watch this year. Because here's the truth. Balance doesn't suddenly disappear. It slowly fades when we stop challenging it. After 60, the body changes in predictable ways. Muscle mass decreases, a process called sarcopenia. The tiny stabilizing muscles in the ankles and hips weaken first. Reaction time slows. The inner ear, which controls equilibrium, becomes less sensitive. Even the nerves in the soles of the feet send weaker signals to the brain. That means your body literally has less information about where it is in space. But here's the hopeful part. The brain never stops adapting. Even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your nervous system can rewire itself. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. When you practice balance regularly, your brain builds stronger pathways. You become more stable not because you're younger, but because you're trained. In Japan, movement is woven into daily life in a way that quietly preserves this system. In many neighborhoods, older adults gather in parks each morning for gentle routines. They walk to local markets. They sit on the floor and stand back up. They garden. They carry groceries by hand. None of this looks like exercise, but all of it challenges balance in subtle, consistent ways. And that consistency is the secret. Let's start with something deceptively simple: standing on one leg. In Japan, it's common to see older adults brushing their teeth while balancing on one foot. It sounds almost too easy. But when you lift one foot off the ground, dozens of small stabilizing muscles activate instantly. Your ankle makes micro adjustments. Your hip engages. Your core tightens slightly. Your brain focuses. Research shows that being able to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds is strongly associated with lower fall risk. In fact, some physicians consider it a quick screening tool for overall stability. Try this. Stand near a counter or sturdy chair. Lift one foot just an inch off the floor. Keep your eyes forward. Don't grip with your toes. Just breathe. If you wobble, that's not failure. That's your nervous system learning. Aim for 10 seconds per side. Over time, work toward 30. This isn't about showing off. It's about teaching your body how to recover when you trip on a curb or step on uneven ground. Now let's talk about something even more powerful: slow walking. In busy cities like Tokyo, you'll see seniors walking daily but not rushing. Their strides are controlled, their posture is upright, arms swing naturally. This kind of mindful walking strengthens the glutes, which are critical for preventing falls. When the glute muscles are weak, the body compensates. Steps become shorter. Torso leans forward. Stability decreases. But when you walk with intention, heel touching first, then rolling through the foot, pushing gently off the toes, you'll reinforce a stable gait pattern. Try this the next time you walk down the hallway. Slow down slightly. Stand tall, as if a string is pulling the top of your head upward. Let your shoulders relax. Feel your heel connect with the floor. The controlled roll-through activates muscles that protect your hips and knees. And here's something fascinating. Studies show that slower, controlled walking can improve proprioception, the body's awareness of position. That awareness is what allows you to catch yourself before falling. Another movement deeply embedded in traditional Japanese life is the sit-to-stand transition. In homes with tatami mats, getting down to the floor and rising again is part of daily living. Feet flat, hip width apart. Lean your chest slightly forward. Press through your heels and stand up without pushing off your thighs if possible. Then sit back down. Slowly, control is key. The lowering phase builds just as much strength as the rise. Start with 5 repetitions. Over time, work toward 10 to 15. If needed, use your hands lightly at first. There's no shame in progression. What makes these Japanese-inspired habits so powerful isn't intensity, it's frequency. Small doses every day, teaching the nervous system that stability matters. Now let us go deeper into one of the most overlooked parts of fall prevention, the feet. Many older adults lose strength in the tiny intrinsic muscles of the feet. Years of cushioned shoes can reduce sensory feedback. In contrast, it's common in Japan to remove shoes indoors. That simple cultural habit may improve foot muscle engagement and sensory awareness. When you're barefoot on a safe surface, the nerves in your soles wake up. They send signals to the brain about pressure and texture. That feedback sharpens balance. A simple practice is toe lifting. Stand tall and gently lift all 10 toes while keeping the balls of your feet on the floor. Hold for 5 seconds, then relax. Press your big toes down while lifting the other 4 toes if possible. This strengthens neural pathways between the feet and brain. It may feel awkward at first. That's normal. Awkwardness means you're activating muscles that have been asleep. Another subtle but powerful movement is heel two-toe walking, sometimes called tandem walking. Imagine walking on a straight line, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other.
Ow!
This challenges lateral stability, the side-to-side control that prevents falls when you rebumped in a crowd or step off balance. Keep your arms slightly out if needed. Take 10 slow steps forward. If that's too easy, try it near a wall with one finger hovering for support. This trains the brain to manage narrow bases of support, which is crucial for real-world situations. And here's something most people don't realize. Balance is not just muscular, it's visual. That's why gentle head-turn walking drills are valuable. Walk slowly in a straight line and gently turn your head left, then center, then right. Science supports this. Studies show that confidence and balance, called balanced self-efficacy, directly influences fall risk. Start with one leg stands for 30 seconds each side. Move into 10 slow sit-2 stands. Practice 10 heeled two-toe steps. Walk mindfully down your hallway, focusing on posture and foot roll. Finish with gentle toe lifts and controlled head turns. This entire routine takes less than 10 minutes, but done consistently, it stimulates the ankles, knees, hips, core, eyes, and inner ear. It tells your brain, stay sharp, stay ready. And perhaps most importantly, it shifts your identity from someone trying not to fall to someone actively building stability. Because aging does not mean fragility. In fact, some of the most stable individuals you'll ever see are 75-year-olds who never stopped moving. There's a saying often associated with long-lived communities in places like Okinawa: stay active, stay connected, stay purposeful. While diet and social bonds matter deeply, daily functional movement is one of the quiet pillars supporting longevity. Your body adapts to what you practice. If you practice sitting all day, you become excellent at sitting. If you practice balance every day, even for a few minutes, you become harder to knock over. Progression is where most people either make incredible gains or accidentally increase their risk. The biggest mistake after 60 isn't moving too little. It's jumping too far, too fast, without preparing the system. Balance training works best when it follows one simple principle: gradually reduce stability while maintaining control. Think of it like teaching your body a new language. You don't start with poetry. You start with basic words, repeat them daily, and slowly increase complexity. So once you can stand on one leg for 30 seconds while holding a counter lightly, the next step isn't closing your eyes immediately. That removes visual input too aggressively for many people. Instead, try hovering your fingers instead of gripping. Then try turning your head slowly while balancing. That adds a small vestibular challenge without overwhelming your nervous system. If that feels steady, then you can experiment with briefly closing your eyes for 3 to 5 seconds. When vision disappears, your inner ear and joint sensors must work harder. That's powerful training, but it must be introduced gently. Now let's talk about surfaces. Many traditional Japanese homes, flooring like tatami provides a slightly softer, more responsive surface than concrete. That subtle instability forces micro-adjustments in the ankles. You can recreate this safely by standing on a folded towel or firm cushion near a wall. Start with both feet on the cushion. Feel the wobble. Let your ankles respond. Once that becomes comfortable, try a short one-leg stand on that surface while keeping support nearby. Why does this matter? Because real life is unstable. Sidewalk cracks, grass, gravel, carpets. Training only on perfectly flat ground creates a false sense of security. But there's a warning here. Never train balance to the point of exhaustion. Fatigue increases fall risk. When muscles are tired, reaction time slows. Quality always matters more than quantity. Now, let's address strength. Balance without strength is like software without hardware. The nervous system may know what to do, but if the muscles can't execute quickly, stability fails. After 60, hip strength becomes the cornerstone of fall prevention. Specifically, the gluteus medius, the muscle on the side of your hip that prevents your pelvis from dropping when you step. A simple way to train it is side leg raises. Stand tall holding a chair. Slowly lift one leg out to the side without leaning your torso. Move slowly, lower with control. 10 repetitions per side. You should feel the outer hip working. If you feel it mostly in your lower back, slow down and reduce the height. Another powerful movement is the step back lunge variation, but modified for safety. Instead of a deep lunge, take a small step backward and gently bend both knees just slightly, then return to standing. This trains backward stepping, one of the most critical protective reactions during a trip. Many falls happen not because someone can T-step forward, but because they can T-step backward quickly and confidently. In Japanese community exercise programs, coordinated stepping patterns are often practiced rhythmically. Forward, side, back. It's not dance, it's neurological rehearsal. You can do this at home. Stand tall and step forward, return to center. Step to the side, return. Step backward, return. Repeat 5 times each direction per leg. This teaches multi-directional stability, essential for real-world movement. As we age, the spine tends to flex forward, shoulders round. The head drifts ahead of the body. This shifts the center of gravity forward, increasing fall risk. In crowded areas of Kyoto or Tokyo, you'll often notice older adults standing remarkably upright. That alignment isn't cosmetic, it's mechanical. When your head is forward, your body must compensate constantly to avoid tipping. A simple posture reset. Stand with your back against a wall, heels a few inches away. Gently touch your upper back to the wall, then lightly tuck your chin as if making a double chin. Hold for 5 seconds. Relax. Repeat 5 times. This strengthens deep neck flexors and reinforces neutral alignment. Even small improvements in posture can significantly improve balance efficiency. Now let's discuss reaction training. Balance in daily life is reactive. You don't plan to trip, you respond. One safe way to train reaction time is gentle partner taps. If you have someone at home, stand with feet hip-width apart while they lightly tap your shoulders unpredictably. Your job is to resist without stepping. This activates rapid stabilizers. If alone, you can simulate unpredictability by tossing a soft ball against a wall and catching it while standing. The shifting weight challenges coordination, is something backed strongly by research. Dual task training. This means performing a cognitive task while balancing. Stand on one leg while counting backward by 3s, or while naming animals alphabetically. Why does this work? Because in real life, you're rarely just standing. You're talking, thinking, turning, carrying groceries. Training the brain to divide attention while maintaining stability reduces fall risk significantly. In aging populations, the ability to maintain balance under cognitive load is a strong predictor of independence. Now let's address frequency. Balance is highly responsive to consistency. You don't need hour-long sessions. 5 to 10 minutes daily is more effective than one long session per week. Think of brushing your teeth. You don't brush once weekly for 20 minutes. You do it daily. Balance is similar, or it's neurological hygiene. But what about those who already feel unstable? Start seated. Yes, seated balance work is powerful. Sit upright on a chair without leaning back. Cross your arms. Slowly lift one foot a few inches off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds. Switch sides. Then practice seated marching. Then practice standing with both feet wide apart before narrowing your stance gradually over weeks. Progression should feel challenging, but safe. If you're constantly grabbing for support, the difficulty is too high. And now we need to talk about something deeply important: the floor. One of the most protective skills after 60 is the ability to get down to the floor and get back up. In cultures where floor sitting is common, like in parts of Japan, older adults maintain this ability longer. It preserves hip mobility, leg strength, and confidence. Practice safely by placing cushions nearby. Start by kneeling onto a padded surface while holding a sturdy chair. Then practice stepping one foot forward and pressing up to stand. This builds the exact strength and coordination needed if a fall ever happens. Because here is a powerful shift in thinking. Fall prevention isn't only about never falling. It's about being resilient enough to recover. Even strong, active people occasionally trip. The difference is whether the body can respond effectively. The body can learn at 60, 70, even 85. So let's bring everything together into something practical, because information is helpful, but structure creates results. If you're over 60, your goal isn't extreme athletic performance, your goal is durable independence. The ability to walk confidently, turn quickly, climb stairs, carry groceries, and recover if you stumble. Here is a simple weekly framework inspired by the movement patterns commonly preserved in active older adults across Japan. Think of your training in 3 pillars: daily balance practice, strength reinforcement 3 times per week, and light reactive or cognitive challenges 2 to 3 times per week. Daily means daily, even 5 minutes. Each morning start with 1 leg stands, 30 seconds per side. If that's too hard, hover your toes lightly on the floor. If it's easy, add gentle head turns. This keeps your nervous system calibrated every single day. Then perform 10 slow sit-to-stands. Control the descent. Feel your heels pressing into the floor. Over weeks, try crossing your arms instead of pushing off your thighs. Add 10 heel-to-toe steps forward and back. Move slowly. Imagine you're walking on a line painted on the ground. That alone takes less than 5 minutes. But done 365 days a year, it becomes transformative. Now, 3 times per week, add strength support. Side leg raises for hip stability, 10 to 15 per side. Small step back lunges, 8 to 10 per leg, while posture resets. 5 slow repetitions. If you want to go slightly further, add gentle calf raises while holding a chair. The calf muscles are critical for catching yourself when you lean forward unexpectedly. Strength is what gives your balance system power. Without it, the brain sends signals that muscles can't execute quickly enough. Then, 2 or 3 times per week, layer in challenge. Stand on a folded towel. Practice tandem walking. Toss a soft ball while standing. Or try dual task. Drills balancing while counting backward. This combination stability, strength, and reaction creates a resilient system. Now the question most people ask, how long until I notice improvement? Research shows measurable changes in balance can occur in as little as 4 weeks with consistent practice. Many people feel subtle differences even sooner. Standing feels steadier. Turning feels smoother. Walking feels more confident. But the deeper benefit shows up months later. You stop thinking about falling. And that psychological shift changes everything. Because fear of falling is itself a risk factor. When fear increases, movements become stiff and cautious. Steps get shorter. The center of gravity shifts forward. Ironically, overcorrection increases instability. When you practice balance regularly, your body regains trust in itself. Movements become fluid again. And here's something powerful. Improvements are not linear. May feel wobbly one day and solid the next. That variability is normal. The nervous system adapts through repetition, not perfection. Let's also address mobility. Many falls happen not because someone lacks balance, but because their joints lack range of motion. Tight ankles limit the ability to adjust on uneven surfaces. Stiff hips reduce stepping speed. So incorporate gentle ankle circles daily. Lift 1 foot and rotate slowly 10 times each direction. Do hip circles while standing, holding a counter lightly. Slow, controlled motion keeps joints responsive. In regions such as Okinawa, where longevity rates are among the highest in the world, Older adults often continue gardening, squatting lightly, and moving through varied positions well into advanced age. That variability preserves joint intelligence, the body's ability to navigate different angles safely. You don't need to sit on the floor for hours. But occasionally practicing getting down and up preserves capability. Capability builds confidence. Now, an important safety note. Remove environmental hazards at home. Loose rugs, poor lighting, cluttered walkways, these increase fall risk, regardless of how strong you are. Balance training works best alongside smart environmental choices. Footwear matters too. Shoes with thin, firm soles often provide better ground feedback than overly cushioned ones. Indoors, if safe, spending time barefoot can gently stimulate the foot's sensory system. Hydration also influences balance more than many realize. Even mild dehydration can reduce blood pressure and cause lightheadedness when standing. And finally, vision checks. Since vision contributes heavily to stability after 60, regular eye exams are part of fall prevention. Notice something here. Balance isn't a single exercise. It's a system. Muscles, nerves, inner ear, vision, confidence, environment. When all of these are addressed, fall risk drops dramatically. But perhaps the most important takeaway is this. Balance is trainable at any age. The brain retains plasticity far longer than once believed. Studies on adults in their 70s and 80s show significant improvements in postural control with structured training. The myth that decline is inevitable is just that, a myth. Decline accelerates with inactivity. Stability strengthens with repetition. Small, daily, intentional movements are more powerful than occasional intense workouts. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need complicated equipment. You need consistency. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. If you practice 5 to 10 minutes daily, that's over 1,800 minutes of targeted balance training in a year. That's more neurological investment than most people make in a decade. And unlike many health goals, the payoff is immediate and practical. You feel steadier stepping off curbs. You turn faster when someone calls your name. You climb stairs with more assurance. Independence is built quietly, one controlled repetition at a time. Aging is not the loss of balance. It's the loss of practicing balance. And the beautiful part is that practice can begin today. Your body is not fragile simply because you turned 60. It is adaptive. It is responsive. It is listening to what you ask of it every single day. If you challenge your balance gently and consistently, your brain rewires. Your muscles respond faster. Your steps become more confident. Slowly, almost quietly, stability becomes part of who you are again. The Japanese-inspired movements we talked about aren't secret techniques. They're simple human motions: standing on one leg, rising from a chair, walking with intention, stepping in different directions, moving with awareness. What makes them powerful isn't complexity, it's repetition. 5 minutes a day may not feel dramatic, but 5 minutes daily for a year changes your nervous system. It strengthens ankles that catch you when you trip. It builds hips that stabilize you when you turn. It sharpens inner ear reflexes that keep your world from spinning when you move your head. And maybe most importantly, it rebuilds trust, because confidence in your balance changes how you move through the world. You walk a little taller. You step a little quicker. You participate more. Participation is the foundation of healthy aging. Start small. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth. Practice 10 controlled sit-a-stands before lunch. Walk down your hallway with posture and purpose. Let these moments layer into your life naturally. You are not training to avoid living. You are training to keep living fully. Aging well is rarely about dramatic transformations. It's about daily decisions that protect your independence long before you need to think about it. And balance, quiet, steady, reliable balance, may be one of the greatest gifts you can give your future self. If this helped you, share it with someone over 60 who deserves to feel strong and steady again.